and welcome to Nashoba Now. I'm Michael Wood, Superintendent of Schools for Nashoba Regional School District. In the next half hour, I hope to share with you the things that are going on now in Nashoba. Hi, and welcome to Nashoba Now. I'm Michael Wood, Superintendent of Schools. It is about that time of year again. August is upon us, and we've been busy doing lots of different things in our schools and in central office, getting ready for the new school year. Our first day of school, it's hard to say it, but it does start with teachers on August 25th and for students on August 27th. If you have a preschool student in either the age 3 or age 4 class and a kindergartner, you'll be receiving letters from your teachers, and they will tell you when to come by appointment on that first day of school and throughout that first week. And for our freshmen, we continue to strive to make the introduction to the high school positive, giving them greater opportunities to know the high school and to meet some of the staff before school actually starts. So if you go to our website and go to the high school page, they are having a open house orientation on 2 separate days before August 27th. And that will give you an opportunity to meet some staff and get the lay of the land before they actually hit the ground running with an abbreviated day on August 27th. Freshmen don't come until the 10:40 start on that day. The other things that we are doing is interviewing prospective staff for positions that have been vacated by folks that have retired or people who have moved on to new roles and responsibilities in other school systems. One that I'd like to highlight, Patricia Trayman has been our coordinator for student wellness. She is moving on to a different role in the Maynard Public Schools, and we will certainly miss her. But she has been the architect of the work around our Student Health Advisory Council, and that group, which has been very vital for these past few years that she's been at the helm, has been working on everything from our school bullying policy and implementation of that law, as well as monitoring and evaluating our school nurses and our interventionists and guidance and social workers, and working with our teachers in the health education curriculum. So we are posting that position, and we will be hiring before school starts. However, given how folks need to sign out of their old job to come to their new job, it might be a few weeks of transition before we have somebody actually in place. We also have a new hire for Mrs. Donato, who was the assistant principal at the center school in Stowe. Mrs. Donato was chosen to be a principal for an elementary school in the town of Arlington, where she is from. And so we are very pleased and proud of her for getting that position. We've hired Kelly Rogers, who has been with the Littleton Public Schools as a K-5 STEM coordinator. She brings a lot of classroom experience at the elementary level, and we certainly welcome the opportunity to be working with her in her new role as assistant principal. We are moving forward with a decision by the school committee to have MCAS only for this coming school year. As some may know, the state is looking to replace the MCAS as the state's accountability assessment. It's been over 20 years since its implementation, and it has certainly run its course and is ready for a new tool, and whether it is going to be the new assessment that's being piloted, which is called PARC, which stands for Partnership for Assessment of College and Career Readiness, or not, we're at least staying with MCAS for this school year and probably the following school year as well. The decision for the next iteration of an assessment tool will be in the fall of 2015, and we'll be keeping you posted on what they're doing as far as a new tool. Right now, all students through the class of 2018 will take the MCAS, the current MCAS, for their graduation requirement. The Park tool that was piloted last year, which we did have some students participate in, is only for ELA and mathematics. And so going forward, we would have the MCAS for the science and technology should Park be chosen after 2015. We are working this summer on a number of different initiatives that will help us with our district improvement activities. The school committee will be finalizing our district improvement plan in the fall, and so we've been focusing in on some of the activities that we think will be aligned with the goals that we have drafted. One of the big pieces, we've been working on the STEM curriculum. We were working on that this past year since January. Our timeline has been impacted by the fact that the state hasn't approved a new set of curricula objectives yet. But we're working with their draft, and we think that for the most part that draft is going to come forward as a final draft in the fall of 2015. We're also working with planning for social studies review and taking a look at looking at our curriculum K through 12 there. We've also been spending a lot of time drafting our unit outline that we are having teachers use, and this tool right now is in the formative stages, but it's a collaborative tool, allows all of our teachers access so that we can have more sharing of units across grades in different towns, so that we can again get the curriculum more in common, more aligned as they prepare for moving on to the Nashoba Regional High School. We'll also be continuing work that our teachers started last year, which was fantastic in terms of the assessments for that curriculum. They did a fabulous job of making aligned assessments for use with the curriculum, but also that will be part of the evaluation process. So we're very proud of that work, and they will be implementing the tools that they designed last year in this coming school year. And last but not least is the work that we did on the standards-based reporting for our middle school students. They will be implementing the report card that was piloted last year, and we have had feedback, and there are some slight changes to that tool, but it's going to be implemented in November as we had talked about last spring. We've also moved in more work that focuses on teaching all of our students with raising the bar for expectations around student performance. We've had a lot of conversations this spring around the honor roll. We think that's an activity that can be used to promote and in fact motivate kids to try to challenge themselves and take, at the high school level, take higher level courses. We are also finishing up work that has to do with our response to intervention tool. We have a requirement in the state of Massachusetts to have what they call a district accommodation plan, commonly referred to as the DCAP. And that DCAP allows us the opportunity to plan accommodations for kids to help them access the curriculum at varying times during the school year if they're struggling in a particular content area. So we've been working with that throughout this past year, and we're going to really take a look at it this coming year, more focused on mental health strategies and helping find resources for families to look at ways to support kids that have various mental health questions and issues that arise during the course of the school year. We did hire, or about to hire, the second of 2 social workers that are going to be added for our K through 12 continuum of services. It's important that we involve families in some of the decisions that are necessary for helping kids access curriculum. So we're excited about adding those 2 positions in the FY15 school year. We'll also be talking this year about social media and helping kids learn more about ways to protect themselves when online, and making sure that they have access to the curriculum around cyberbullying, and understanding when to get offline and to make sure that they are protecting themselves from sometimes it can be people they know, and sometimes it's people that they don't know. But most importantly, it's certainly necessary that kids understand how to keep things that they want to keep private. And lastly, in the last weeks of the school year, we've been talking with the school committee about communication and about improving communication, trying to find the vehicles that work well for the quickest amount of time that parents have to spend in trying to learn what's going on in their child's life in school. So we're again looking at ways to improve communication. The data that we have is kind of interesting in that what we learn from it is that more is not always better. That is that just because you hear you know that a school communicates monthly does not translate into any worse results in terms of how parents feel they're informed than somebody who communicates every week. And so it does appear to be in the eye of the beholder. So we have to take a look at that and make some sense of how do we best reach all of our parents about the critical information they need to make informed decisions about their students' educational experience without creating cookie-cutter schools, because we want our schools to reflect the communities they're in, the parents they're serving, the students they're serving, and that's part of the allure, I think, of having small community schools. So that's something we'll be talking about this fall as we go through our district improvement process, trying to set expectations around communication, making sure that it's clear, making sure it's timely, making sure that it's available in multiple formats so that parents can access it the best way they want to. We'll also be looking at different forums for parents this fall and spring around some of the issues that we feel and they feel are important to learn more about. Substance abuse has been something that a lot of folks have asked about, to be more informed about what's happening in terms of the different concerns that have been raised either individually by students or by parents. So we'll be looking at forums for parents around substance abuse. We had an excellent professional development opportunity by the Middlesex District Attorney's Office, and our staff just lauded the information that they gained from the training from the police officer that came. And so we're going to repeat that for faculty and again for parents as well, so that they know what to be looking for and they know what to be expecting in terms of things that they might see with their students or with their students' friends. We'll also be looking at the other side of things, which is the behaviors that a student might go through if they've become under the influence of different substances. And so we'll be looking for presentations to help parents understand what to be looking for, and then also how to deal with students that are abusing substances, and what resources are available, and making sure parents gain access to those should they need them. So those are all different things that we think are valuable for our time and energy. We think they add to the overall experience of being at Nashoba and making sure that we're looking at the whole child and making sure that we are working collaboratively with families and the community to support children in their education. It's not just about content, but it's about the social, emotional, and physical well-being as well. And then lastly, we'll be taking a look at work that our teachers need and are asking for more training in terms of the digital learning experiences that we're engaging in. We transitioned to Google a year ago. It's gone extremely well, but Google is updating, it's adding to its resources, so we'll be doing some training around that for our teachers. We're advancing our work around bringing your own device, especially at the high school level. We want kids to feel comfortable bringing their own device into school, so we've improved our access ports to make Wi-Fi readily available. We're certainly encouraging our students to use digital experiences in their creation of new products to show what they've learned. And of course, we're asking teachers to do that more and more. So all of that coupled with our own investment in making more handheld tools available, Chromebooks or tablets, depending on the grade level, help, I think, advance our expectation that digital learning is not an add-on, but it's integrated into how our kids learn today and how our teachers teach. Lastly, as far as our district improvement goes, we're looking at continuing work that we've been doing K through 8 around building the social and emotional well-being of kids and classrooms, building communities within the classrooms. So we have a program called Responsive Classroom that we do K through 5, and then its sister program, Developmental Design, for grades 6 through 8. Those two programs match together well. The language helps children understand what teachers are asking about when they're asking to be redirected. And so we're trying to look at ways that we can move that language into the high school and to encourage a model for the high school because as part of their NEASC expectations, they have criteria to meet to show that they are attending to the social and emotional needs of high school students. And so that's a part of the conversation that they're having around, do we need specialized training in working with kids, using appropriate rules and expectations, setting boundaries. All of that is a part of building that community of learners. So that's an exciting part of some work that they'll be doing in the coming year. And also, as a part of that shared responsibility amongst our staff is the work that we're doing around the curriculum planning. That's exciting. We did this work about 10 years ago and really set the tone for planning. But we really never had the opportunity to get the software that we needed to allow teachers to collaborate as well as we think they can now with our new tool, new software called Atlas Rubicon. And the best thing about this is in probably 2 more years, we'll be able to begin to then share our units of study online with parents so they can have access, better understand, maybe even help kids feel more comfortable with new content because they'll be able to plan what's coming down the road. So all of that it's about collaboration. It's about sharing the responsibility for learning and making it easier for kids to feel comfortable to access learning. The summer is always a great time for the schools to spend some time refurbishing the physical environment. We're spending a lot of time, obviously, cleaning, making sure our schools reflect the quality and expectations of cleanliness. We're also looking to address some advances in our recycling efforts. We've been doing a lot these last few years around capturing as much byproduct as we can to recycle. All of the schools have recycle bins available. We've made recycle bins available to the public. We're pushing more and more for recyclables of cans and bottles with available units for deposits. We're trying to increase our own efficiency of monitoring for the buildings. All of the buildings have an electronic system, but we're now really trying to look at setting the bar in each building to make sure that we're burning energy efficiently and routinely monitoring that. and we'll be finishing that up with some work that we're doing here in Bolton with a new boiler system for the Emerson building, and then eventually one for the Florence Sawyer building. We are also changing out lights to make them more energy efficient in all of the buildings. Even though our oldest building now is essentially built or retrofitted since 1997, we still have, since 1997, lights that need to be retrofitted to 2014 standards. So there are still energy efficiencies that we can gain from doing that. Things like shutting off lights when you leave a room. Many of our rooms have automated systems, and so that works well, but we still have some rooms that don't. And so we want to encourage and motivate teachers to be efficient about using the motion system, and make sure that where we don't have the motion system, we are shutting lights off when we leave rooms. And of course, the next part of that is teaching adults and children how to use natural light more on sunny days, and making sure that we teach them, what's a reasonable amount of light and what's necessary amount of light to read and to take part in the lesson that you're trying to take part in. Because we're encouraging more devices to come into the building, that comes with the expectation that they can be charged. So we're trying to offset the expectation that we're bringing in more devices that require energy by reducing some of the devices that we currently have that require energy and using them more efficiently. We also want to look at things that don't need to be plugged in all the time, and teaching kids and teachers to unplug things like coffee makers or refrigerators during Christmas breaks and things like that that really can help to save energy here and there over the course of a school year. So we'll be having a program around energy efficiency that we're going to be developing and trying to really encourage all of us to save energy all the time. We are also a different aspect of operations and management. Our school nutrition program has been for a couple of years now continuously building its farm fresh produce opportunities for the school nutrition program. That's going to be continuing. We hope to look to increase the amount of fresh produce available on our salad bars. We think it's great for kids, it's great for the area farms, so that's something that we look forward to in the future as well. And then lastly, as far as our operations and management, throughout the summer, we're still meeting with the NRHS space study, and we are working toward our interim report, which is due in the fall. And we'll inform the school committee of what we've learned so far, and try to get to a place where probably where we have very clear questions that we're still have to ask ourselves about the space, about our needs, and bring it to the table as much of the data and answer those questions as much as possible. We have a self-imposed deadline of December for a more final report. It may not be the final report, but there is a timeline we're trying to respect with regard to the state and the Massachusetts School Building Authority, and they may in fact be offering another opportunity, another round of renovations, either as an accelerated repair project or a full statement of interest for some other type of renovation at a larger scale. So we want to make sure that we're ready for that, because if we miss that, we miss it for another year. Changing the topic a little bit away from the schools themselves, it's the how to get to school topic, which is always exciting for parents. It's our bus routes. I'm actually working on those this week and have been in conversations with the bus company, making some adjustments here and there. Fortunately, from year to year, they don't change that much. We don't add land, we don't add new roads usually, and so the bus routes stay the same. What does change, though, because students change schools that they attend. You go from middle school, from elementary school to middle school to high school. So those kinds of changes where we no longer have to have stops on a particular route can change a bus run. And so when they do get published, which will be in the next 2 weeks, please read them over, read them carefully. If you have questions, please give me a call at my office. I will work directly with the bus company, or you can call the bus company directly, and they will, if it's an easy fix, they will go ahead and do that. I ask of them that they follow our guidelines, which are posted online, and they've been the same for a number of years now. They're not new, but again, they do change from grade span to grade span. So where your elementary child may have had a distinct stop at the front of your driveway, at the middle school level, we have many more clustered stops, and at the high school, even more. So it's really important to understand that those developmental changes that are happening, and that's why they're happening. It's not all about efficiency, but it's about the nature of what we have. We have X number of buses, and so we can't spread them out anymore around the space that we have, the roads that we have. I do go out and visit the stops. I will inspect them personally if that's a concern about safety. If it's a new stop, I will take a look at it. We often have to talk to parents about things. If it is a cluster stop, we have to talk to parents about making sure that they park safely, so that they're not disrupting visibility of the bus or of other traffic that's trying to get by. So those are things that, as a neighborhood or as parents at the cluster stop, you have to work out together. But we will certainly offer any assistance that we can as you experience your new bus stop. We do make sure that the stops are in a safe zone. New stops are inspected by the bus company always. Because we do shift from grade span to grade span to more clustered stops, sometimes parents think the stop is unsafe but now it's an older child that's walking a little farther to the next driveway or to another part on the road. And sometimes we hear, well, we can't make our child walk because there are no sidewalks. And I remind people that most of our 3 towns don't have sidewalks. But through our experience, through our safety record, we feel very safe to put a stop at a certain location within a certain distance of houses so that students can be clustered for a stop. The one exception to that cluster rule is for kindergarten students. And so for elementary bus runs, the majority of cluster stops, if we have them, they're going to be in the neighborhood at the stop where there is a kindergarten student. That's generally what we try to do. And on the rare occasions where we can't do door-to-door service for a kindergarten stop, it has to do with the bus can't make it down that road for whatever reason. Usually it's because of a turnaround situation. We don't have access to a turnaround, it's not large enough for a school bus, etc. So those are things to be considerate of if you see your bus stop and you're wondering why it's where it is. But again, I'm happy to talk with you, or again, the bus company, their phones start ringing as soon as they're published, and we appreciate their attention to each and every call that they get. So that's Nashoba Now. Have a great August, and I'll be back in September.